there are still some tricks that I want to show you now. Very important, and probably one of the most important tricks. Just chill out and spam gold. Hello guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. For those of you that are new, my name is Kajzoo, and I am one of the best players on the European server in World of Tanks. But what if I told you, you can also become a super Unicum by employing the following tips and tricks? Enjoy the video. First thing I want to talk to you about, which is very important, and it's a key feature of the game, and it's kind of a micromanaging thing that often a lot of people neglect, and that's called minimap usage. Now, minimap usage is very important. Now, for example, in this clip you can see that I am pre-aiming a corner with the Scorpion G in the city on Ghost Town. This angle, a lot of people try to cross here, and as I am fully in sniper mode, as you can see, I am paying close attention here to the right side of the minimap right here, and I will soon see that the enemy is playing quite aggressive on that side, which means that most of the time nobody's gonna cross here, although that's still possible. But I'm going to make a decision to peek on the right side, even though, as you can see, nobody crossed there in the beginning, so that means that it's going to be probably clear. But now I peek on the right side, I see the AMX, and I saw the Tiger 1 pop up on my minimap, so I actually come to this side instantly and aim, and actually can get a shot right there on the Scorpion G, and you can see that I instantly unzoom and I check my surroundings. Now that's also very important too. After every single shot, you unzoom instantly and check your surroundings. 1, if enemy tanks can shoot you. 2, you need to find your next target basically. So here you go, the 80-15 pushes up and I find him instantly. And it's very important. Now this is a very simple situation, but more complex situations I'll show you in a second. So in this next clip I'm playing the Emil-2 on Redshire in a fairly good MM, tier 8, tier 9. And I just want to show you that the minimap usage and the camera usage are two very important aspects of the game that are being very much ignored by a lot of people. So if you guys want to get better in general, just pay attention to your surroundings. Now you can see that I clipped out all 3 of my shells, and I noticed the Progetto in the open. Now I'm trying to stay safe from him basically by not reversing, but I also don't have to. I also can't go back that much because the Progetto can shoot me, and the Tiger 2 can also shoot me. Now if you look at the map, it's very much of a cluster F situation, and you can see the Progetto backed out, but he's not gonna expect me peeking him. As you can see, he's just fully driving, and right now you can see after taking that first shot, I look around, I see the guy behind me, but I just want to finish this guy if it's possible and remove him from the game because that's very important. Now you can see that I get a highly lucky high roll on him, but I can see the defender behind me and he's about to peek me. I also see the Emil-2, so that's very important to basically multitask and pay attention to all your opponents that are surrounding you. Now let's see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna load my second clip here, and the defender pulls back. He can't very much push into my my face because of the tanks behind me, but this guy kind of gets punished for that. But now that I'm on reload, I have to hide a bit, and the Kunzepanzer also gets spotted. Now as you can see, also one thing that's really important to pay attention to, that those little bulbs, those little lamp bulbs are very important. Now you can see that everything has been spotted. 263 has not been spotted, so he can surprise us from the left or right side here, or he can also camp at the K-land. We don't know yet, but you always have to be prepared. If you see tanks that are unspotted, aka there's no lamp bulb next to them, that means you always have to be ready for them to pop up at your flank, and you have to be prepared for the absolute worst of outcomes. Now we have already packed up 6k damage. I'll probably make a video about this replay because it's very interesting. And there's the 263. He pops it right behind us, and now I have 3 angles to worry about. I have to worry about, once again, I have to worry about the T-30 who has been spotted here and is going to probably go here and have an angle on me from that side. I have to worry about this guy as he just got spotted next to me, so that's already 2 flanks that I have to worry about. And I also have to worry about this side with these guys all around, so I'm basically going to be in a 3-way crossfire very soon, and I only have a coverage from this side in case they overpeak, right? So I'm gonna be having to pay attention most of the time to these kind of angles right there. And let's see what's gonna happen now. I'm trying to not expose to this guy. I realize I can use this wreck over here, but it still gives us a shot. That was very much of a mistake, but I was quite damage hungry here and I wanted to clip him out, and also was hoping that my teammates would somehow shoot this guy. And I also see how after the second shot I looked at the defender just to check what he was doing. Just in case he was trying to shoot me, I could have avoided. And this guy we can finish up. The VK peaks, but also I spot the T-30 instantly. And I bounce the VK, he dies to the guys behind us, and I unfortunately get finished by the Kunze-Panzer. Now, the T-30 probably missed us here actually. I think he missed us right there because of my wiggling at the end, but just see like the gravity of the situation. Like I basically could have also done a little bit more damage if I pull back, but I understood that I had to kill this guy because it was absolutely crucial that I don't get peeked from 3 angles at the same time. So what is the gist of this whole thing? You have to pay attention to your surroundings after clipping, or even if you don't have a clipping tank. You just shoot and you instantly check around. You make a 180 turn with your camera and you just check everything. Check your targets, check your surroundings. And 3 is that you have to pay attention to the minimap at all times, because it's very, very important and a lot of people ignore that. And if you guys want to be a super Unicum, or if you just want to basically improve at the game, do that. Now the next thing that I want to talk to you about is psychology. Now, human psychology, human nature, we all know that. Like people, I'm just gonna give you an example. People get quite aggressive in this game when they get shot, right? If they get, for example, clipped by you and you're playing a 57 heavy, they take 4 shots, 600 damage, they get very mad at you. Now, here you have an example. This Burask I spot. He takes a shot and now he's gonna get really, really angry at me for some reason. He sees that he has no other target other than me, but I already expect him, he's gonna YOLO me already. And it just basically comes down to human psychology. People get angry, they target you out because they want to kill you for some reason. Now this is going to be quite interesting actually. As you can see, the Burask is already coming for me on the minimap. I just noticed that. He's basically coming full on YOLO for me, even though he gets tracked in the open. But in a lot of situations in World of Tanks, if you piss off an enemy, he's going to start making aggressive mistakes. And by saying mistakes, I mean he's going to just come after you. See, he's just YOLOing for me, and that happens a lot, quite a lot. Now this is the best example I have recently, but you see he doesn't care about anything. He just comes for me and basically nothing. He doesn't really care about anything else. Now this can be translated into other situations, like for example when you accidentally push an ally of your own team. He might be that the peaceful guy saying, "Oh, no problem, buddy, it happened." But he also might be the kind of angry guy which will push you out of your position and basically cause you to lose a lot of HP because you have been pushed out in front of the enemy tanks and you will not be allowed to survive. So you have to pay attention to those kind of things, to not piss off your teammates and basically to be ready in case you piss off your opponents, and be ready for those kind of YOLOs and those kind of aggressive mistakes as I have named them. So once again, another example of awareness and enemy tanks playing aggressively because the player gets mad at you is this one. I'm playing M41D on Empire's border and I see that there's nobody here on the middle, so I decide to go to the mid since I see those tanks, the SU and the T-34 in the mid. So I also spot the Hawk there and he doesn't pay attention to us, so now I actually load HE here and proceed to blind shoot him, which will 100% pen because the shell disappears. Now if you take an HE pen and with high alpha from a small tank, you tend to get a little bit mad. So I already expect this Hawk to get mad at me, and once again the psychology part comes into play right there. And I am very much aware that this guy is going to peek behind me very, very soon. Now a little bit of shooting on this IS-6, but right now you see at this point in time I was constantly checking the minimap and I just spot the Hawk peeking up right behind me. You can see he's already aiming at me, but let's see my perspective. What do I do? So I knew he was gonna peek and I was very aware of the map. And what happens here right now? Oh, I realize instantly and he misses. Now that saved us 300 HP because that was a HE shot, and if you take that HE shot we might as well become a one shot after that. So yeah, once again a great example of why you should be aware of the minimap, your surroundings, and also try to use the psychology aspect of the game against your opponents. So yet another example of basically predicting what the enemy tanks are going to do and using that to your advantage. Once again, it's kind of like a psychology this time, but also not that much. You can see the LT-42 get spotted right there. And by the way he moves his tank, you can tell if he's a good player or a bad player. Now he doesn't move very much. And he, right now, is basically just staying stationary. He doesn't move much. And from that kind of movement, you can already tell that he is going to take the exact same spot. AKA, he's a one shot, and I just have to blind shot the bush right there to kill him. Now, we finished the CS, but that's irrelevant. And I put a blind shot exactly where he was. It doesn't hit. But do we give up here? we don't give up here, and I'm just waiting for the spot to DK of us, and let's see, let's try again, let's shoot the ALT again, maybe we will hit. Little miss again, but I'm sure, I'm 100% convinced he's there, and we connect and we kill him. Very, very important to always blind shoot, and always, when you see that the enemy light tank or enemy tank is staying stationary, that means that the guy is most likely not wanting to change position. That means he's going back into the same position as he was before, and that makes it very, very vulnerable for him, and you can actually blind shoot him and kill him with that. Now, another aspect that I forgot to mention is that when people peek, for example, people are fighting on Prorokka Hill, and the guy peeks, he's fully in the open, but nobody shoots him, he doesn't take a shot. Even though that people can see him, and enemy tanks can have a vision on him and see him, and he doesn't take a shot, he's gonna go back, he's gonna reload, and then peek again in the same position because he thought he was going to be safe. Now that you can use to your advantage as well. Now, the third thing I want to talk to you about, guys, is basically saving your HP and stacking HP on heavy tanks. This is very, very often overlooked, and basically, I'm playing now the 6 DP in a ranked battle on El Haluf. Now what you can see instantly, I almost have 3000 HP in my heavy tank. That basically means I also have high alpha, and that those two things basically mean that I can be the perfect anchor for this kind of flank. Now as you can see that on the map, they are playing very, very aggressive here. They have the whole team in front of us. And my job here is to just to anchor and survive as long as I can. Because if I don't survive here, it can be very much lost. Even though we're leading in HP right now and in kills, it can very much go south, especially in ranked battles. So it's very, very important to save your HP and only go into trades and only peek into trades which you can come out of positively. Now you can see that basically if I was not here in this kind of scenario, now look what we have here. We have a Kong who's not paying attention, who has completely turned his side towards those guys. We have a one-shot STB and a one-shot Progetto. Now if I wasn't here with my anchor heavy tank with a shit ton of HP, these guys could just overmatch this side very fast. They could peek, finish these guys. Now don't look at the HP now of the enemy team. It's not that a good example of what I'm trying to say. But basically if I was not here in this situation with a lot of HP and anchor myself, the team would push. Now this is a ranked battle example, but this is also very true for randoms, and it translates directly over to randoms as well. You want to peek into trades every single time and you can come out of them positive. Now you see, I peeked into them, I got 750 and I only took one shot. This guy peeks, he dies. But now I go again, and it's basically just very, very important to overall use the HP booster on these heavy tanks with a lot of HP already. Because it gives you a huge benefit. It's 10% plus HP, and it's huge for these kind of heavy tanks like the E5, the Super Kong, the 60 TP, the IS7, the IS4, and whatnot. So take that with a grain of salt as well, what I'm saying. Because also on tanks like STB1 and tanks which have to fight constantly against the enemy tanks, for example on ridge lines like on this map, on Live Oaks, on Glacier, you name it. Taking HP is very important because you want to survive as long as possible, because if you survive for as long as possible, that means you will also do much more damage in the long run, and that's basically what you want, to be good and to improve yourself, to do as much damage as you can in the long run. That's what gets you forward. And the World of Tanks is about the art of staying alive longer and doing as much damage as possible in that time you're actually alive. So take that advice and employ it in your games. And hooray, ladies and gentlemen, we have got to the controversial topic of gold spamming. Now, I always like this example. You have AP ammunition with 258 pan, now for the T10's case, and you have heat ammunition with 340 pan. Almost 100 difference in terms of pan. Now, in a tier 10 matchup, you'll want to pan every single shot because you're going to be an underdog with not that much DPM, so you're going to have a limited amount of shots already at the tier 10 counterparts of the enemy team. Now, which car would you drive to your girlfriend's house? The Opel Astra, which is a great car, don't get me wrong, or the Ferrari? Of course you're going to drive the Ferrari. If you have the chance, if you have the amount of money to pay for the Ferrari, of course you're gonna drive that one, because why not? And it's the same for this game. If you have the credits to spam gold, then why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to pen more shells? Why would you want to waste and get angry on unlucky pen rolls of your AP shells, not penning tanks? In my opinion, it's a very old school topic of this game. Now, gold spamming is a very controversial topic and it's an old school topic. And this is my opinion. And that's 100% true. If you're going to be shooting gold ammunition all the time, or most of the time, you are going to be more successful than 95% of the players. And that's true. These shots, I could never pen with AP. All those shots could never be penned with AP. Unless I get really lucky and up into the plus 25% of the RNG high rolls. But just take this advice. And there are so many ways to farm credits nowadays. Gold rounds don't cost gold anymore. That was like a 2012 thing. They cost credits. Now, how do you get credits? You can get them from missions. You can get them from Stronghold. You can activate your clan's credit boosters. Oh, by the way, join my clan Monko on the European server for credit boosters. You can also play Frontline. So there's a gazillion ways how to earn credits and how to make your game better in randoms. So guys, please accept this as the truth and grind those credits, and you'll be more successful in the game. If you're just going to spend a little bit more credits, well, it's not a little bit more credits, it's much more credits, but in general, you're going to do much better and you're going to mold less and get mad less, since you're going to be penning more shells in the long run. So guys, just chill out and spam gold. Come on, you don't have to unfollow and unsubscribe. So, we're nearing at the end of the video, but there are still some tricks that I want to show you now. Very important, and probably one of the most important tricks in this game is the following. There are some maps with some positions that are only suitable for one, maximum two tanks. Now, Berlin is a perfect example for this. You have the unplayable bottom side for heavy tanks, and you have the very much playable top side for heavy tanks. And you have this window position on both sides of the map, which is just absolutely crucial to take in case you have turret armor. Now, how many tanks can fit in here comfortably? One. Other side, maybe two. But on this side, it's 100% one. And you just want to take these positions as fast as you can and as aggressively as you can. Now, I'm talking about a little bit of selfishness here, but like healthy selfishness. In this game, just like real life, you want to be ahead of others in terms of every single advantage that you can use on certain maps. Like this map, for example. Just take the position, get in there, and just enjoy the farm that you can do from this position, which you can never do from any other position. Now, this is not just true for Berlin. You have Glacier in the middle, that is very important position to take very aggressively. You have Live Oaks to take. I'll show those maps above here right now. And you also have, for example, a very important position to take on Tundra and on Fjords. Crucial factor. You're playing a tank. There is a side that you have to cross, a narrow street for example, but you don't have spots in there and you don't know what's waiting for you. Now, how can you check if there's a tank aiming for you? Right now, if you press on the map, we see that there was an E3 there, right? So how do you check if he's still there? He may have been there in the beginning of the battle and now you're playing the end game, but how do you check if he's really there? Well, look. Oh, exactly. Well, I have a better solution for you than that. Just basically, you go back, you wait for the respawn, you peek with your tracks, voila, the lamp lights up, and you know that there is a tank there that is probably waiting for you. So you will not peek that angle and you'll try to find a different angle and a different approach to finish your endgame. So, and the last tip is the following. You have to communicate with your allies, even if you don't want to. Why? Because it's going to get you an advantage that you otherwise might not get. Now, there are some people that are less communicative, there are some people that are more communicative, but in the end, what you should strive to achieve is get as much damage as possible in the game. Now I'll leave this clip here with 2 speed. It's not very important, it's just a kind of like format that I wanted to put on my YouTube channel. It's quite funny actually, especially the end play. It's going to be at the end of this little clip, what I'm trying to say, the example of what I'm trying to say. But it's quite important, guys, not to get chat banned, because if you get chat banned, you can't tell your light tank to go spot on Pro Orovka. You can't tell your teammates where an enemy tank might be hiding. And most importantly, you cannot tell your teammates not to cap. And because you cannot tell your teammates not to cap, the most of the time they cap and you cannot do anything about it anyway, even if you say something. But there are some times, for example, when you have to ask for it. They don't cap, and then you basically will farm much more damage. Now here's the clip that I'm talking about. But yeah, basically, same map, same tank, different side. You can see that we are leading 9-1, right? The enemy has 6000 HP, but they're all on the one side of the map, right? You can already see the 122 TM join the cap, and the T26 E5 is shortly going to follow him. Now, what do we want in this situation? Of course, we don't want to just let our teammates cap. We want to farm as much damage as possible. Now, look, there's 30 seconds on the cap. I'm farming this projectile now. We kill him from full HP, which is very nice farm already. But now, if you look at the chat, I'll type in don't cap, and I even tell the guy to fall back, and I tell him mission, please. Which is a lie, of course, but guys, you need to lose this. You need to use this to your advantage. And now you can see the guy left the cap, and now we have 30 more seconds. So thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and please write me in the comments what kind of insider info you would like to see next from Unicums. Tell me that in comments and I'll make a video about that. See you next time and enjoy your day. Also, check out twitch.tv/kajzoo for live streams every single day. See you there.